Leaving porn behind as a learning opportunity. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let me tell you what I mean by that. In this video, we're going to discuss three things. Number one, let's talk about, hopefully you've been here and you've seen some of my videos and you've learned the damaging effects of a pornography habit. The first thing we're going to talk about is when you decide to leave porn behind, this becomes a very important learning opportunity for you. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Number two, we're going to talk about what you've learned up until this point and why you have to unlearn it. And then number three, how you can do exactly that. How you can unlearn the framework or the paradigm that you've been in until now and learn a new, healthier one through very specific action steps. Okay. Number one, porn recovery as a learning opportunity. I know the people that I work with, that I coach, love and loathe this idea all in the same breath, because every challenge in this journey becomes a learning opportunity. And honestly, I feel that way about life. All the difficult things that come to me, yes, I feel them because that's an important part of the journey, is allowing yourself to feel those challenges. And then after having done that, being able to use those opportunities to learn and grow. So there is no win or lose in this porn brain reboot. There's only succeed and keep moving forward and learning if you have a slip or something becomes challenging. So what do you have to unlearn? We're going to move on to number two, but honestly, I'm going to go back to number one also. Number two is, what do you have to unlearn? You have to unlearn the framework that you learned from your parents, the multi-generational transmission of how life goes. And I know people have a hard time wrapping their minds around this until you can see how life can go. So I'll just talk about my own journey for a second, and then we'll extrapolate it to you. Is that in my own journey, I grew up in a family where there was no conflict. Conflict wasn't a thing because my parents and my siblings couldn't handle conflict. But if you grow up in a big family, there's conflict. But conflict is an opportunity for growth. So if something's bothering somebody and it needs to come out of the dark into the light, to have the light shed on it, and for that issue to be worked through, conflict can be really powerful towards change and growth. And so what I've done, because I've recreated my family of origin in my own family, I grew up in a family of 3 boys and 3 girls. My husband also did, and he and I now have 3 boys and 3 girls. What we do is when conflict arises or if somebody's upset, it's okay to be upset. Why are you upset? What can be changed? How can we support you? What needs to happen for you to be able to process the emotions you're feeling, to be able to move through them, grow from them, and make a change in the positive direction? Now, that's what I want for you, is to think about, and this goes on to our action step, but think about how you grew up and the constructs, the ideas, kind of the how life works that you learned from your family. It's different in all families, but usually it's a few different flavors, and it also exists on a continuum of a little bit to a lot in terms of magnitude. And honestly, this is types of family dysfunction. Not being able to deal with conflict and not having the emotional maturity to be able to handle difficult emotions and difficult conversations. That's my flavor. So I've worked hard to dispel that in my own family, and I use all of those times in my life as opportunity to grow. I think about it before I respond instead of react, and then I move towards those difficult feelings and emotions and the discomfort. I move towards it. I don't look for it, but when it comes to me, I move towards it and I move through it and I grow. And all the difficult times that I have become opportunities for growth. Now let's bring that back to you. So what happens when people develop any type of habit, but here we're talking about unhealthy habit. We're talking about a pornography consumption habit. What is generally learned is that the difficulty and the flavor of discomfort in your life drives you to the screen so that you get this dopamine hit, this neurochemical that associates porn with pleasure for you. That is not the case for all people, but it is a supernormal stimulus, so it grabs you by the brain. So your discomfort pushes you towards the screen. The screen pulls you in to take that discomfort away. That becomes the learning opportunity. When you feel the discomfort inside of you and your brain goes, let's go watch some porn because I don't like the way this feels. Either I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed out, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling bored. I have created this habit that I grind too much during the week, so I have to take the edge off on the weekends. I've developed this habit that I can't even get through 3 hours of work without having to take the edge off. Feel the discomfort, feel the uncomfortable feelings, move towards them, towards solution in a healthy way. That's where the learning opportunities come in. Now, what I want to focus on in this video is you can become a happy learner. It's challenging at first. So when I talk about the work of porn recovery, I'll always say to people, it's only work at the beginning. Because if you can get fired up and get psyched about it, the work becomes interesting and easier and engaging. And like me, now I still feel the discomfort, but when I feel the discomfort, I'll say to myself, what is this about? What is this for? How can I grow from this? How can I help others through this? And I'll use those opportunities. I just had an opportunity like that when I went to visit my parents. My father's not well, unfortunately, and I haven't seen him that way ever, actually. So that was really off-putting to me. I wasn't able to spend time with him like I wanted to because he was sick. It was off-putting to him because we've never been together while he's in that mode. It really shook me. It rattled me. And if you know me, I always tell people during their difficult times to stay in peace. And if you can stay in peace, you can help others stay in peace. And so, of course, I'm running it in my head. Stay in peace, Trish. Stay in peace, Trish. Stay in peace. And I did have to bring myself back to, okay, why am I having this growth opportunity, this time with my dad? Why is this discomfort happening? You know, out of all the couple days of all the years, why is he sick on this day when he's really never been sick on any other days? There's growth there. And I squeezed some growth out of it for me and for him and for others, hopefully, because here I'm sharing the story. But, you know, those are the moments that come to me. So when they come to you and your hijacker is telling you to go back to the screen because it's uncomfortable and you don't have to deal with those feelings, the way out is through sitting with those feelings and figuring out what they are telling you, and then being able to move towards them and through them, and you will literally grow. You'll come out the other side of that experience stronger. And then once you start doing that, guess what happens? Your framework shifts, your whole paradigm shifts to this experience in humanity, this life. This human condition is one of learning and growing, and it's one about leaving behind the fake illusions that you think you're here for and being able to get on purpose in your work, in your relationships, and your hobbies, the things that you care about, the people you've attracted to in your life. You can attract people to you. That's how energy works. You will attract them to you when your energy is healthier. And when you leave the screen behind, your energy gets healthier and you attract into your life the people that are supposed to be there. Then you can get on purpose with them. That is the spice of life. Like I was telling my husband 2 days ago, and he was telling me how, you know, somebody he knows is building a giant pool house. And here we are trying to heal the world of what ails them. And he's like, if we could just go with the grain instead of it, we could have a pool house like that. And I'm like, dude, what's that pool house going to do for you in the end? Nothing. What is helping humanity heal themselves going to do for you? Everything. It's the spice of life. That is what we are here for in ourselves, and encouraging you to do that too. Okay, so now, how do you actually do that? The next time you feel uncomfortable and you have an urge, don't surf the urge. That's different. Urge surfing is different, where you feel the urge and you try to let it move through you. That can be tricky at first. What I want you to do is peel a layer or two back and see what the feeling is underneath that urge. What is that discomfort? Why are you bored? If you're bored, go do something that you love in your life. Go do your hobbies. Go spend time with your people. Go do some of the work that you love. Get on purpose. Get dopamine from your life. Feel that feeling under the urge. Is it anxiety? What needs to be resolved so that you don't have to take the edge off? Did you work too hard last week where you just need some time off? You just need a nap. One person that I'm working with, he's like, you're totally right about the nap thing. Every time I feel an urge, I just take a nap. I shift my brain into neutral and I feel so much better. I come back and I don't have the urges anymore. Feel what the feeling is underneath that and learn from it. So when people put comments on this channel that say, I relapsed again, I was on this awesome streak and I relapsed, my advice to you is figure out the feelings that are underneath. There's usually some discomfort. Think of it as a learning opportunity and then change something. Change as many things as possible. The more things you change, the more the likelihood is that you're not going to go down that slippery slope again. And you will be able to continue to move on the journey of success, giving your brain those dopamine hits from being able to walk away instead of going into the screen. This whole journey, it is a journey. It's a process and not an event. This whole process is a learning opportunity. It's all there for you. And every time you learn something, you evolve. If you can engage with this process, you will evolve and become a better version of yourself. And you know what they say, to change is to perfect, and to change often is to evolve. Now, I don't care about perfection. I take so many imperfect actions, it's literally ridiculous. But to keep moving in the right direction is to improve yourself. To change is to improve. And to continually change is to evolve. That's where our mindset should be. So think of this as a learning opportunity. Now, here's 2 real strong ways to do it. You have to take action steps because it's difficult to put your thumb on change unless there's something you can measure. So put your thumb on the action steps that you're taking. When you change something, you now know you're doing something different. So you will get a different outcome. That's why it's important to look at the measurable, the action steps that you are taking. Then every day, write down 3 gratitudes. And if you can anchor them to those changes, it will be even more powerful because you'll be able to say to yourself, I made these changes and now this new positive thing happened for me. Change is happening. I am improving. I am evolving. I can be successful in this journey. Okay, I hope that helps you out. And if you're looking for help in this journey, jump on over to drtrishleigh.com. I have blog posts there for you. There's more content that I'm creating to be able to support you in this journey. And there's programs of all shapes and sizes. I'd love to help out. Okay, and remember, control your brain or it'll control you.